Hello, quilting friends. I am back and on a Tuesday, and I'm happy to see you. I think. I mean, I'm happy, and I'm happy to see you, but I'm not sure I'm back. It's been 10 whirlwind days for me in a really good way. I was on vacation with my husband, his first vacation since the pandemic, his first real vacation. Driving me to teach at a quilt event doesn't really cut it. So we were 5 days in Charleston, and I flew home and had immediate house guests and my daughter-in-law's baby shower. So my company left yesterday, and it and I'm tired. It was just a lot, but it was wonderful. So it was a great vacation, and I had a great visit with my sister, and then my daughter and daughter-in-law were here, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful time. I was at the doctor's yesterday right after my company left, and they said, "Oh, is that a good thing?" And I was like, "Well, it was a good thing they were here. It wasn't a good thing they left, but I did maybe take a 3.5 hour nap yesterday." So even people you like, and fun things can tire you out, but it was wonderful. So it just filled my soul. So I, again, was only here Thursday, and I have been extraordinarily slammed since then. But I do have a few things to talk to you about. Let me hit the chat button so I can know if that's working, if the chat is working. I live about 70 miles north of New York City, and I woke up Saturday morning to about this much snow. And it ended up being like this much water with a little snow on top. And my husband's like, if I go out to shovel, I'll just be pushing water down the driveway. And it was fine. But it's like it's the middle of April and it snowed. And what was really sad is that at the top of my driveway, I mean, we have like a couple acres in the back going up the hill, but at the bottom of the hill, at the back of the driveway, we have tons and tons and tons of daffodils. And on Thursday or Friday, when I got home, I'm like, I should get these daffodils. I should cut some daffodils. I should bring them in. And we got snow, and all of my pretty daffodils, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of daffodils, down. They were all down. So I just went outside to pick up a delivery, which I'll talk to you about. And I did take out a pair of scissors because some of them perked back up. So I cut as many as I could reach, but I do have some daffodils that are inside. Don't cut flowers, just make a difference. I'm too cheap to actually go buy them, but when they're in the yard, I can go cut them. See, Joan, greeting from Auguste, Shahola, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I was been tracking the weather across Pennsylvania. It's coming this way. I know someone in Beaver, Pennsylvania. I saw their lawn chair get thrown. Their lawn furniture get thrown quite a distance. So I hope you're holding down there. There's some hail coming this way. It's very oppressive. You can tell there's a front coming through. So I did want to get the daffodils before they got crunched again, just so I could pick them and have a few to enjoy for a few days before they got weather damaged. Because if they survive the snow, they won't survive the hail. They have a lot going on. Does anyone remember that poem from high school? Well, at least that's why I learned it. I floated lonely as a cloud. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high on vale and hill, when suddenly I saw a host of golden daffodils. I don't know who that was, but that just came to mind. So if you're in the path of the weather, stay safe. I hope the trees stay up and out of your house and the power stays on and everything's good. So I got some daffodils. Now, my sister was at my house and left yesterday. Now, you may remember the last time I was at my sister's house, I decorated her house with about 100 little erasers everywhere. And I get texts periodically going, I found another 2 erasers today. I put them in her coat pockets and shoes. And I didn't go fully invasive. So I wasn't opening her drawers and stuff. I put them in public areas and on counters and windowsills and things like that. So my sister left yesterday, and I went upstairs to start grabbing sheets and towels to start some laundry. And what did I find? I found some rubber ducks. So game on. My sister does not watch my live videos, so I can tell you my plans. I will be there twice this summer. I will be there July, August, and September. So one time she's getting googly eyes on all of her photographs, and another time her entire yard will be covered in flamingos. Any other ideas of what I should do to trash my sister's house while I am house sitting? And I stay at my sister's house and house sit and take care of her dog when she's out of town. Um, and her neighbor's like, wow, that's so nice of you to come all this way. I drive 16-hour round trip to go babysit my nephew dog, my niece dog. I don't. It's because of our mother. So my sister lives down the street from mom, and we don't leave mom unattended at 86 years old. So I'm in town to be her person. But that gives me plenty of time to trash my sister's house. So I'll take any suggestions on what I can do. But there will be googly eyes on all of her photographs. See how long it takes her to figure that out. And another time, I will cover her front yard in a flock of flamingos. But I have to come up with what to do in September then. My mom, when I told her what I was doing when I was there in the winter, she said, why are you doing that? I'm like, because randomly throughout the next 6 to 12 months, I want my sister to go, more erasers from Deb. I just want to be mildly annoying at unexpected times. And if you're worried about birth order, I'm the baby. Does it show? Yeah, I thought it did. So yeah, I got some rubber ducks. I found 2 so far. I have 2 rubber ducks. What else do I have going on? I just got a delivery, and this was much harder to carry up the stairs than the daffodils. But I got my produce delivery because I didn't shop once I got home from vacation. And I had enough food in the house for my sister, but I need to be replenished. So I get my produce. I get groceries delivered because I'm walking, carrying, bringing things up the stairs is hard for me. My grocery deliver shows up in my front door, so I can carry that in. My produce delivery shows up at the garage, so I have to carry it upstairs. But every time I mention grocery deliver, people say, oh, I don't want someone else picking my produce. Well, I don't get a Walmart delivery of produce because produce. This is a Chinese market. It's like bok choy. That'll be tonight's dinner. And it's all been lovely. This is, I think, my 3rd or 4th delivery from them. Beautiful enoki mushrooms. More ginger. Some snow peas. These are things I can't get at my grocery stores. My local Chinese grocery is not close. Glad I got to enjoy the daffodils inside. Yes, because I don't know if I'm getting the storms or it feels like rain, but I don't know how hard it's going to be. I wanted to get them before they die outside. Gray squash, which is kind of zucchini. I've made like zucchini pie out of it, but I also just saute it as a side vegetable. Usually when I'm cooking Korean, like I don't know how to pronounce it, banchan. It's all the little dishes they put beside your Korean meal. I'm just looking through it now. More broccoli. Sorry, I keep knocking my laptop over. And then I'm out of some fun things like, oyster sauce. Well, okay, it's vegan, not really oyster sauce, but vegan oyster sauce. Brussels sprouts. I am so grateful that I live in proximity to New York City and that they drive the truck up twice a week. They could have delivered during the shower, and I'm like, no, I didn't want to do that deal with trying to find room for all of this in the fridge and company and cooking and all of that. So I waited till today. Pretty cauliflower. Hoisin sauce. Yes, I can make most of this, but sometimes it's easier to just have your sauces nearby. What else? Holy cow, what are some of those? So green beans. I never remember what I order. Fresh made tofu. If you buy tofu in a pack in the store, if you're a tofu person, there's nothing like fresh tofu, and I don't make it. So, more enoki mushrooms. That's for a garlic dish. I've got a couple bags of onions because I'm out of those. Some of the most gorgeous carrots you'll ever see. When they say put 2 to 3 carrots in the stew, I'm like, half. Look at this carrot. It's as big as my head. But doesn't this make you just want to go cook? To me, cooking is just as creative as quilting. And I'm looking forward to getting back to quilting because I've been away for a couple weeks. And then the last thing I got was blood oranges. Ooh, well, I'll be getting one of those back. But so I've had one bad orange, the rest were good. But and I've had one other smushed thing from them before, and they refund the money easily. So it's really a win-win-win. But I can't eat citrus after I have my infusion. It's just like heartburn central. So now it's been over a month. I think it's safe to try, but I've been dying for blood oranges, and I have one here, but we'll figure out what these are. Anyway, I had that going on, which was lovely. As for the shower, so my sister came Thursday to Monday, and then with my sister, we took her to the Roosevelt Mansion and the FDR Presidential Library that happens to be near me. FDR is from Dutchess County, New York, and that's where I live. We toured the mansion and then went to the FDR Library, the Presidential Library, which is more of a museum and like a walkthrough with a bunch of things from the presidency and articles. It reminded me a lot of when I was in New Orleans, the World War II Museum. So, videos and displays and posters, really classy, really lovely. It was very nice. And did you know that if you're disabled, you can get a free lifetime pass to all the national parks? So now I have one, and the Roosevelt thing is a national park. I was pretty excited about that. Then I took her to the Culinary Institute because I also live near one of the premier cooking schools in the country, Culinary Institute of America, affectionately referred to locally as the CIA. Saturday was the shower. Sunday, we went to the zoo. There's a little zoo at a private school out in Millbrook, also in my county. It's the Millbrook School. I think RFK went there. Couple, famous statesmen and stuff. It's, $100,000 a year tuition type of private school. And they have a zoo there for the students to tend to the endangered animals. So it was a little zoo, and it was lovely and really fun. They had white fox and what were some of the other things? Lemurs. Who doesn't enjoy a lemur? So that was the trip. I did a lot of cooking and had a lot of fun with that. It was like I made a killer roast beef. I made pizza with everybody's favorite toppings for whenever my daughter and daughter-in-law came in. And then I had a Chinese buffet on Sunday with I had Napa cabbage and cellophane noodles. And what else did I make? I made chicken and vegetable stir fry. And I made fried rice. And then noodles to go under it. So anyway, that's what I did. So for the shower, we were at a restaurant, and we have a very small family. It's just my sister and I. We don't have the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, all of that. We've never had grandparents. It's just a really small family. So there are only 5 of us from our side of the family. And then the rest was my daughter-in-law's. Both of my children married into very large families. So it was lovely. Now, they don't need another present from me. They know I'll give them whatever they want, but Grandma is a quilter. So let me show you what I gave at the shower. Let's find this one. So I gave a Jack's Star. That's my daughter-in-law, Kate. So I could have redheaded grandbabies. Look at the red hair. So this is a Jack's Star quilt. Excuse me. Jack's Star is a cutie quilt that I designed, and I've had this one made for a while and had it put aside for them. And I could have just given it to them before or after or at any time. But this grandma is a quilter, and this grandma wanted to give a quilt at the shower. And I will mention there were applause, which was kind of funny. I also gave them a whole, like a big breast pump kit and all that other stuff. But, this was the gift. And this was, I'm trying to remember who the designer is, but this was like a jungle animal theme. It's just really darling. And it shows off the quilting. That's one of the standard quilts I give as baby gifts. because there's always a really fun animal line that you can get 16 fat 8s out of. So let me stop sharing that. That was fun. So it was just really fun seeing everyone. Oh, there was cake at the shower. So even if everything else was bad, which it wasn't, everything was wonderful, but there was cake. Awesome. So let me check my list to see what else I want to talk to you about. So I talked about the baby shower, the duckies. I want to mention that I am on my way. Whoops, I closed you. Where are you? I'm home all week through Easter, and then next week I head up to New Hampshire to Bits and Pieces in Pelham, New Hampshire. We will have 6 long arm machines that will be hands-on, and I'll be teaching there for 4.5 days. Wednesday night is a trunk show, so I'll be bringing up a couple bags of quilts. We'll have a trunk show at the shop, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I will be teaching hands-on long arm classes, and that's always so much fun. So I hope to see some of you there. And the other thing, I will be back here next Tuesday since I'm leaving Wednesday. So I will see you on Tuesday, normal time at 2:30, but I'll be home until then. So there'll be actual quilting going on in my life and new content coming up. So thank you for bearing with me. This has been a busy, hectic season, but also a delightful season. It was just, I haven't had house guests since before the pandemic, and it just warmed my heart. And I had so much fun. So who knew that it was worth it to do all the cleaning till we had house guests in the house. And by the way, I didn't clean for her, I cleaned for me. Now that cleaning is done, I've got to work on the sewing room, which is back that away. So I hope today is income tax day in the States. Sorry about that. If you're still dealing with that, I tend to be a late filer myself. So mine are done, but not filed. So then what else? I have today. It's also Easter if you are in the Christian tradition. So Easter is on Sunday. So a lot of kids are off school. There's a lot of vacationing going around here in the States. I'm not sure what's going on in your country or wherever you are, but I hope that you have some time to meet with friends or family if this is a holiday time for you, or even if it's not a holiday time for you, because my heart has been warmed. Easter's going to be really quiet for us. It's just going to be my husband and I, but I did just have, I got to see pretty much the people I'm related to at my daughter-in-law's baby shower. So I wish that for you in your lives if you get a chance to do that. Like I said, I don't have house guests and I don't have a lot of family, but I'm looking forward. I'm getting more family and I'm looking forward to having more house guests. So I'm going to be quilting throughout the week. Look forward to possibly some Instagram pictures, some new content, and a newsletter coming out letting you know what is new. I will be here again Tuesday at 2:30 New York time with what is new. Happy Easter to you. May it be a blessed Easter for you as well. And Palm Sunday was really fun with all the kids bringing the palms in at church on Sunday. So I always look forward to Easter. That's pretty much all I have for you. I knew I didn't have much since I haven't done any work or quilting since I saw you last week. But stay safe in the weather. If you got weather coming your way, enjoy yourselves. Find some family and fun time. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and happy quilting until I see you next time. Bye.